Welcome to this deep dive. We're going right to the heart of something that really plagues modern life today. This constant demand for, external results. We've got these sources that really unpack this cultural obsession.
Yeah, the scoreboard identity, as they call it.
Exactly. And all the anxiety just constantly fuels. So our mission really is to find a roadmap. How do we stop trading our basic sense of self for just a win or a loss?
That's spot on. The core idea across these sources is that our whole cultural definition of success, it's flawed.
Flawed how?
Well, because it makes the outcome the measure of a person's worth. The goal here has to be separating your inherent value, which, doesn't change from all the shifting external conditions and the results you expect. You're basically looking at a blueprint for rejecting that idea that you need to earn your right to exist.
Okay, let's start right there.
Yeah.
Because the emotional cost. It's huge when your worth becomes conditional like that.
It really is.
The sources talk about how quickly self-worth just turns into this transaction. If I succeed, I'm valuable. If I fail, well, then I'm lacking something fundamental.
Right, and that just sets you up for constant emotional ups and downs.
Totally.
And when you really buy into that, when your identity gets fully tied up in the result, you build these, well, the sources call them the two self-imposed prisons. Stark language, but accurate.
Okay, what are they?
So the first one is the prison of shame. We all kind of know this one. Failure isn't just an event. It gets internalized, right? It feels like a deep personal flaw.
Yeah, that I am a failure feeling, not just I failed at this thing.
Precisely. But the second prison, this is where it gets really insightful, I think. It's the prison of anxiety.
So succeeding doesn't fix it?
Not at all. Success doesn't bring peace. It just changes the type of fear. Now you're perpetually terrified of losing the thing, the job title, the money, the approval, whatever it is that now defines you.
Wow. So it's a perfect trap, really.
It is. And often, the high achiever, the person who looks great on that scoreboard, they're often the most caught in this anxiety.
How could you tell?
Well, you see it when someone just can't relax, can't enjoy the moment, they're not celebrating the win, they're already worrying about the next quarter, the next project, the drought that might hit next season,
Right. So how do we get out? How do we dismantle these prison walls? The sources offer this core liberating truth.
Which is?
Your inherent worth is unconditioned, and it's immutable. It's totally untouched by whether you succeed or fail, whether you get rejected or applauded. It's just the steady core. They call it the joy itself.
And that's not just like a nice thought. It connects to something fundamental, like a law of the universe. This is where impermanence comes in.
Ah, okay. Like the Buddha's teaching.
Exactly. When conditions exist, things arise. Think about it. Conditions, the economy, the market, your mood, the weather, they're always dissolving and reforming, constantly changing.
So if the conditions are temporary,
then the results that come from those conditions have to be temporary too. They're equally unstable. Success fades, failure passes.
okay, that's a vital connection. So if results are temporary, what is our actual responsibility? This brings us to the role of the gardener.
Precisely. Your true job as the gardener isn't obsessing over the harvest. It's about the purity of the present effort.
Putting the focus on the process, not the prize.
Yes. And that focus gives you what they call the freedom of course correction. You can use feedback, what the universe is showing you right now, to adjust your actions purely in the present. The gardener focuses on what they can actually control, the effort.
And the sources get pretty specific about what that effort looks like.
Yeah.
They break down the gardener's work into 4 pillars, things we need to cultivate.
Right. And these aren't just abstract ideas, they're actionable. First pillar, action. Simple, right? Moving from just thinking about it to actually doing something. Motion.
Okay.
Second, nurture.
Yeah.
This is the quiet, daily work, the tending, the stuff that isn't glamorous but is absolutely essential.
It's a consistent effort.
Exactly. Third is timing. This is about wisdom, recognizing when the conditions are right. Planting seeds when the soil is actually ready. If you plant corn in winter, that's not a moral failing on your part.
It's just bad timing. It's feedback about conditions.
Right. And the fourth pillar, maybe the most crucial, intention.
Intention meaning?
Meaning ensuring the seeds you plant, your goals, your projects, your commitments, are actually worthy of your unconditioned devotion. Are you doing it for the right reasons or just for that external scoreboard?
If you're only aiming for the headline, you're kind of violating this pillar from the start.
You are. And this naturally leads to how we handle setbacks, because they will happen. That's through acceptance and adaptation.
Okay, explain acceptance in this context.
Acceptance here means having the internal clarity to see conditions, even the tough ones, as neutral feedback. not judging yourself.
So if you lose a client, you accept the reality of that loss.
Without immediately branding yourself a failure.
Yeah.
It's like internal forgiveness, really. Unlearning all those past results you let define who you are.
And adaptation flows from that.
Yes, adaptation is the active part. It's the fluid movement, the willingness to change your approach based on the current conditions you just accepted.
It sounds almost effortless when you put it that way.
It can be. It's spontaneous alignment with reality. And when you align your effort with what is, without needing the outcome to tell you you're okay, that's where you find what the sources call the joy of gardening, that unconditioned state.
Wow. This has been a really powerful deep dive into letting go of that external scoreboard grip.
Yeah, the core lesson feels very clear. Your most vital work isn't out there, it's internal. It's about releasing your identification with your own past, your past conditions, your past results.
So let's bring this right back to you, listening now. What does this all mean for you today?
Well, here's something to think about. Since your worth and the worth of every single person around you is truly unconditioned and unchanging, it's that joy itself. What specific action, maybe just one small thing, could you take today to consciously recognize that unchanging real worth in someone else, ignoring their scoreboard entirely? Just something for you to explore.